Greetings, everybody, and welcome. I found out earlier before recording this that this particular story is meant to be all one long story, but I figured perhaps it would work well as a series. If you would like to be continued as a series, please let me know in the comments if you do enjoy it as such, or would like me to narrate the rest of it in another video, maybe the next one or the one after. Anyway, if you do enjoy what you hear, please be sure to click that like button, share it all around, and if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you stay up to date to when I post new videos. Oh yes, and make sure that notification bell icon is activated. And so with that out of the way, without further delay, let's get to the story. So, have a seat, and I will tell you a tale like none that you have ever heard. To be perfectly honest, I'm always the last person to follow technology trends. No matter what the gizmo is, I'm always late to the party. You could chalk that up to having different priorities, I suppose. For years, I'd heard people mention the popular video streaming service, but our family never used to watch a lot of TV. It's just not something we entertain ourselves with. Not that we are a vehement anti-television elitists or something like that. We would occasionally sit down and watch a TV show or a movie as a family activity. We simply prefer to spend the majority of our time on outdoor activities. I wish that was still the case. A few weeks ago, we purchased an ultra-modern 4K widescreen and surround sound system. My wife thought it was completely overkill for our modest viewing habits, but I sweet-talked her into it. I think she was afraid we'd all become couch potatoes. Once we had taken the plunge to high-definition technology, we also needed the corresponding audio and video content to utilize with our new entertainment system. After all, a monitor is just a conduit for whatever media source is playing through it. We didn't have many Blu-ray movies in our film collection, and our cable channel options were dismal at best. We only had the most basic cable package and didn't want to get stuck with a $150 monthly bill for programming we rarely watch. In a moment that I've since become to deeply regret, I remember the video streaming service so many people had mentioned in the past. I had the name of it on the tip of my tongue, but it wouldn't come to me. Eventually I gave up and did a general internet search. Looking back now, that's where our troubles started. Almost immediately I came across an advertised video streaming service called Flixnet. Something about it seemed a little off, but I assumed it was the same monthly pay site that everyone else in the world already subscribed to. Can you understand how an unsavvy technophobe like me might make that mistake? Anyway, I signed us up and plugged the subscription credentials into our new smart TV. After surveying the programming selection available, I was rather underwhelmed, but for $8 a month, it seemed like a harmless gesture. Most of the movies or TV shows available for streaming were mediocre B-grade horror or strange reality shows, but I've been warned about that. Flixnet apparently went for quantity over quality as far as their entertainment programming went. Hoping for some better choices, I noticed that for a few more dollars per month, they offered to send out hard copies of better-known movies. Having complained about the poor choices in their streaming section, I texted my wife that I was going to also add their disc service. My wife texted me back with a correction, disc service. Realizing she was implying I had mistyped the word, I sent her a screen capture of the Flixnet website. It corroborated my spelling of disc, but my English major wife wasn't satisfied with that. She insisted it should be disc, despite what the Flixnet site said. I took her word for it. She's the expert. I learned that a long time ago. regardless of which way it should be, we were set up to receive disc service. We continued to muddle through the strange, often very creepy Flixnet programming choices, even after we received the DVD in the mail. After a few days, we forgot we even had it as an option. A week or so later, after spending an hour sifting through online choices, my wife remembered the mail DVD. After exhausting the list of frustrating streaming choices, it was a relief to pop in what we assumed would be a blockbuster movie. To my surprise, the DVD didn't even have a title on it. I wasn't sure how the Flixnet staff knew which movie they had sent to us. Once in the player, the drawer closed and the unlabeled media began to play. I can tell you that the next few moments passed without registering for our entire family. We were greeted with the most surreal, terrifying thing I have ever witnessed, once the haze of confusion lifted. At first, I thought we were watching ourselves live on closed-circuit television. What filled our massive screen was pre-taped footage of ourselves staring directly at the TV from some previous time. It was incomprehensible. First, I looked at the screen and over to my perplexed family. Then we all gazed in absolute confusion at the screen to try to make sense of it. We were stunned by the developing implications. It wasn't live footage. Everyone had on different clothes, and the taped versions of ourselves were unaware we were being filmed. I began to shake in unfocused rage at the uncertainty of the situation. My son and daughter looked at us for reinsurance, but there was none to give. My wife and I felt a genuine sense of terror. Worse still, seeing the taped footage of us being totally oblivious made the current situation feel even more terrifying. From the focal point of the footage, it was obvious that our modern TV had somehow been used to spy on us. I wanted to stand up and smash the damn thing in livid fury, but then the unauthorized documentation of our family switched to unauthorized footage of our rooms. I was appalled to see my wife and I talking privately in our bedroom. We don't even have a television in our room, and yet there we were. I couldn't believe it was happening. How did they do this? Who exactly was behind the disturbing invasion of privacy? And what was their motive? We sent our frightened kids to bed and forced ourselves to watch the rest of the video. As chilling as it was to watch, we had a duty to see it all, to know the gut-wrenching truth. Somehow, they had footage of every room of our home. Often, it even came from different angles. The two of us were freaked out so severely that we didn't even know what to do about it. Who would we call to report such a mind-blowing event? Who would believe such an outrageous personal invasion story? How did they get into our home? What else had they seen? Had they spied on the children as they bathed, or while my wife and I were intimate? I had never known a real panic attack until the weight of such a violation fell upon us.